is a story about a boy named Vince. He had a mom and a dad and a little sister too. He really wasn't much different than you. Vince liked to laugh, wear funny hats, play games with his dog, and tell jokes to his cat. But one day something happened to his mom and dad. It was very hard for him to understand. They got a divorce. Divorce? What is that? Vince asked his cat. Soon he would know. There was a new rule. They moved to a house without Dad. Vince went to a babysitter after school. This made Vince sad, and it made him mad. He missed his big, strong dad. He was scared and felt all alone. Nothing felt like his old home. Then, one day at school, he made a new friend. His new friend was big and strong, too. Vince was glad to have a friend like that. It really didn't help much, just talking to his cat. His new friend told him he knew just the thing to do. There was this secret magic that made him happy, and Vince could have some, too. And that was how Vince met the drug monster. But at first, it didn't seem like a monster. It was magic that came from a pipe. Vince felt special when he smoked the pipe. It was a grown-up thing to do. His big, strong dad smoked a pipe. Maybe he had a magical friend, too. When Vince smoked the magic pipe, he didn't feel sad. When he was with his new friend, he didn't miss his dad. But what Vince didn't know was that a monster was waiting in the magic, in the pipe that he smoked. The monster would swallow him. No joke. Vince didn't tell his mom about his new friend or the magic pipe, but he did tell his little sis. He said, "This is neat. Take a hit off of this." Little sister didn't want to be a baby. She thought it was a trick. She tried the magic, but it tasted yucky, and it didn't make her happy. It made her sick. Vince said, "Don't tell Mom. She'll be mad at you. Don't tell anyone or I'll lose my friend." So she didn't tell anyone. No one knew. The drug monster smiled. That was just what he wanted them to do. Vince still went to school and played with his friends. His mom kissed him every night before he went to bed. When he felt sad, he smoked the magic pipe with his new friend, and he felt happy instead. One day, his new friend told him, "You can't smoke my pipe anymore." Vince said, "What'll I do?" So Vince used his lunch money to buy a pipe and some magic, too. Days and weeks and months went by. Vince hid his pipe from his mother's eye. Every day he kissed her and went to school. Sometimes he forgot his homework. Oh well, he made new friends that were cool. Instead of playing games like other kids did, they smoked their pipes and hid. Vince stole money from his dad. For a while, Vince felt bad, but he made a buy. No matter, he forgot when he got high. Sometimes he lied to his mom and told her he lost his lunch money. She gave him more so he wouldn't be hungry. For a while, he was sorry to lie. But my, this magic was good. He forgot when he got high. His mom found his pipe and magic one day. "Drugs are bad," she said, and threw them away. Vince promised his mom he wasn't hooked. The drug monster chuckled to himself.
"I've got him now. He's cooked."
One day, Vince smoked his magic pipe, and he didn't feel happy. Instead, he just got sleepy. He slept in school. He was late to class. His teacher told him he wouldn't pass. Vince didn't care. He left school and didn't go back. His mom said he was just a little off track. But then the magic didn't work like before. It didn't make Vince happy anymore. His friend told him, "I've got some new magic. You'll have great fun. With this new magic, you can travel in your mind, go places, and leave your body behind." So Vince bought the new magic. It was a tiny dot on a piece of paper. How good could it be? He took the magic to his room. He licked it off the paper, lay down on his bed, closed his eyes, and waited to see. Soon, he saw bright colors everywhere. He opened his eyes and saw big butterflies in the air. He poked his finger through a big purple one. Hey, he laughed, this is fun. This is great. But wait, he felt strange, like he was floating, and everything got dark and scary. He looked up and saw the ceiling right in front of his face. This trip was getting hairy. He looked down and saw himself lying still on the bed. How can this be, he wondered. Am I dead? He reached for his face, but found only air. He screamed, but no sound was there. What was that? Certainly not his cat. Something moved over there, coming out from under the chair. As he stared into the darkening gloom, a monster appeared right there in his room. Oh dear, it was the drug monster. The monster that hid in the magic. The monster snarled.
Do you like my trick?
Who are you? The boy on the ceiling whimpered. The monster cackled
I'm your magic friend.
as he raised up on his hackles.
Don't you recognize your old magic friend? I am the drug monster, and this is your end.
Then he fixed his red eyes on the boy on the bed. The boy on the ceiling cried out, "Wake up! Run!" But the boy on the bed could not move. He was stunned. So the monster swallowed him whole. Nothing was left of the boy who loved his mom and dad and his little sis. He was in quite a fix. The little boy was gone who loved to wear hats and play games with his dog and told jokes to his cat. The monster left the boy on the ceiling in his place. This boy only loved the magic of the drug monster, but he had Vince's face. Vince's mom didn't know. His dad didn't know. His little sister knew, but she was afraid to say. This went on day after day, and so the boy who loved magic lived in Vince's room. He kissed Vince's mom goodnight. Can you believe they didn't know it wasn't Vince? That's right. One day, Mom said, "Something is wrong with you." She took him to a doctor who knew. They put him in a hospital for children like him. There are others, you know. Sally's, Jane's, Tommy's, and Tim's. The doctor said, "This will cost a lot." But Mom said, "Take all I've got." They tried real hard to break the evil monster's magic. But I'm afraid they weren't able to do it. It's tragic. They weren't able to rescue the boy who loves magic. He left the hospital, went right out the door. He didn't want to live with Vince's mom anymore. He lived on the street. I'm afraid he did harm. He got a tattoo of a skull on his arm. He made some new friends, children like you. They thought he was smart. He knew just what to do. He knew a secret that no one else knew. He had a special magic to make them happy. They could have some too. The police knew what the drug monster could do, and they didn't want it to happen to you. So they caught Vince and took him to jail, where he couldn't put his magic for sale. They locked him up far away, and that is where he is still today.
Do you remember the picture of the little boy you saw at the beginning of the story? Can you remember what he looked like? No? Look at his face again. This story is not a fairy tale. It is true. The little boy in the story is the little boy whose picture you see now. Only he's not a little boy anymore. I am the little boy in the story, the little boy in the picture before you. My name is Vince, only I'm not little anymore. I'm 21 years old and I'm in jail. It has been 13 years since I first smoked the magic pipe. The last 6 years of my young life I've spent in and out of drug treatment facilities, in and out of prison. You need to know the truth about drugs. If you use them, the drug monster can swallow your life. He will destroy your mind. He will destroy your family. He will destroy your future. I know, because he did it to me. It is not okay to try drugs, not even one time. It is not okay to smoke pot, or crack, or use cocaine, or LSD, or heroin. Not even once. I wish I had never started 13 years ago. In prison, where I am now, I see lots of lives ruined by drugs. Lives like mine. Instead of graduating from college, getting a job, marrying my sweetheart, having children, coaching Little League, making my parents proud of me, instead of all these wonderful things, I am counting the days until I get out of prison. I wonder if I can stay clean this time. I wonder where I will live. I wonder who will hire a 22-year-old drug addict with a prison record. I just wonder. You can stop the drug monster dead in his tracks. It is really very simple. Don't ever start using drugs of any kind. No matter who else is doing it, your friends, your brothers or sisters, your neighbors, your parents, don't you do it. Not even once. Not even once. I know what I'm talking about. Once the drug monster swallows you, you're his forever. Even if I can stay clean, I will battle him every day of the rest of my life. Don't you start, not even once.